Alright, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen, over on the YouTube side of things? I have a very divisive opinion that I want your take on. This video could literally, potentially be 50-50 disliked, or maybe turbo disliked, we'll see. Because I have been feeling this across Fellowship basically the whole time I've been going through things. So my goal right now is to achieve 9 out of 9 Eternal, because they're working on extra characters and whatnot. So once it gets to, 11, or, because they're planning on 2 characters and what have you, and then, 12, 13, 14, like, covering every character all at the same time is going to be very, very impossible. But I want to try and make a good consensus on the entire roster beforehand. And recently I've started going through the healers, and I want your guys' opinion, and I'm perfectly fine with being wrong. Okay? Let's just start with that. I'm perfectly fine with being wrong and being flamed. But I need to know if I'm crazy. Okay? I need to know, because I've been going back and forth with Twitch chat, so I need a divisive opinion. Hell, start a war in the comment section, okay? I think healing has been Zoomerified, okay? For those of us who have healed for a very long time, healing used to be a battlefield observer, control utility type of healer that was raw healing focused, where you were prepping for mechanics, planning for things ahead of time, pre-shielding, mitigating a lot of stuff, like planning crowd controls. I'm also more of a PvP healer than a PvE healer, which also is definitely going to affect my opinions, massively translating over to PvE healing, which I have had a very, very rough transition, which I'm perfectly fine with calling a skill issue. That's fine. Sometimes you gotta learn. That's just how it goes. However, in Fellowship solo queue, if you're having a skill issue, you just get diffed and then everyone leaves, which is the Fellowship experience. But what I mean by Zoomerified is they've decided to turn both of these healers into DPS classes, which I feel has just lost the plot so heavily. And I don't know if I'm just entirely fucking wrong on that, or if this is just how it is now. Because my most hated change of all time is World of Warcraft Legion. Because they turned Discipline Priest into a DPS healer, which I had just fallen in love with Discipline Priest in Warlords of Draenor for, like, the massive absorb shields, the Giga Penance healing, and, being able to just, like, chastise someone, fear someone, and just, like, turbo control them in PvP. Oh, it was so much fun. While being able to, like, pre-shield and, like, outthink people all the time. Whereas now, if I play Discipline Priest, I have to tab to this guy, DPS this guy, DPS this guy, dot this guy, dot. I'm playing Affliction Warlock. It is not a healer. Not anymore. And then they took my Holy Paladin, and they gave it a two-handed weapon. Whoever decided that? Oh my god, lose your job in game design. I do not want to be that guy, but, like, please. It just, the fucking Hammer of Tyr made me stop playing 2 of my favorite healers in one expansion. And from that design choice, all those years ago, I feel like it's rippled forward into Fellowship's design as well. Which, if we're okay with, if that's what we're happy with, okay. But then it's just not for me. Because as it currently stands, both of these healers require more of a DPS rotation to play efficiently and heal efficiently with than actually playing as a healer. It feels like if I'm pressing my healing buttons, I am permanently out of mana. I do not have enough globals to keep people up, even and especially when my tanks are pulling giga huge 24/7. I'm also undergeared on most of these because I'm trying to speed my way through as much as possible, so my own fault for sure. When I'm undergeared and my tanks are trying with their fucking spider mount to pull the entire key in one go, entirely my fault, for sure. But what I don't get is when the best build for the Resto Druid is to run Nettle to the Pedal, put down your life pedal, and then spam your Nettle Bolt over and over and over again. and then put down your little summon thing, and then fling your mushrooms. I'm not playing Resto Druid or Resto Shaman like she's supposed to be. I'm playing Demonology Warlock. And that's not a healer to me. That's like, and I feel like it's lost the plot. And when you go up to higher tiers, I mean, yeah, okay, maybe the legendary changes this. Maybe I just don't have enough gear yet. But if I have to suffer all the way up to that point to make actually raw healing functional and playable because I have more tools to adjust to the playstyle, yikes, okay? And then we go to Vigor, and with our boy, if you're not perma-spamming Dawnflare with the Dawnflare mana rune, you are out of mana 24/7. I don't even get me started on how much Dispel costs in mana, okay? Dispel costs as much as a normal fucking cast. Like, if I clip my fucking hard cast with a Dispel cast, I'm just fucking in 5 casts. Like, it is literally fucking 10 to 20-ish% of my mana bar for every spell. Like, it's just so fucking stupid, bro. And then, like, the way to get big AoE healing out of our boy is to use his Levitate and spam fucking circle all the time. I'm not in combat right now, so my mana is regenerating faster than it would normally. And so as a result, doing the most functional raw healing, AoE healing rotation I found, I'm fucking perma all the time. If I have the Atonement Legendary, then okay, I can do, you know, more AoE healing, but I have the Atonement Legendary, and I will scrap it on principle on sight. Because what they did to Discipline Priest hurts me to this day. So, I'm not playing that whatsoever. I am perfectly fine with that being where the role is going, but if that's where it's going, it's not for me anymore. And I think it sets a very terrible precedent for people trying to learn the role for the first time. Because, yes, you have access to, like, mouse over healing and all of this stuff for sure. But I think having new players have to tab to your teammates with either keybinds in the first place, or mouse over here, and then, like, tab here, and, like, fucking nuke this guy, and, like, heal here, and nuke this guy, is just, like, dude, a keyboard-turning casual's head will implode. If I had to learn these two healers, I don't know that I would like the role. I'm not gonna lie. And now, the reason why I think this is, like, a major... Like I said, it's not a problem. It's a personal preference, for sure. Is that if you play World of Warcraft, for example, you have enough tools and or enough specs to be able to make and or play a raw healing healer. But as it currently stands in Fellowship, that doesn't exist. There is not enough characters, for starters, because the only two you have are a Demo Lock and a Discipline Priest, which my guy was pitched, by the way, as Holy Paladin meets Holy Priest. He is Shakadin meets Disc Priest and Demo Lock. And, like, oh, it's just such a disappointment to me, man. I was so excited to be able to, like, play Sylvie in low keys with high haste and carry people with, like, perma-invuln fucking, like, hots and stuff. And I have both of these characters built for full hot builds. I have Kindling, I have Amethyst Splinters, I have reasonable crit, I have I have the Riptide active, I am basically a Resto Shaman. On my Resto Druid, Demonology Warlock, I have Amethyst Splinters. I have, in this case, I have Prayer of Mending. A little fucking ironic to have Prayer of Mending on this character and a Riptide on the other, but here we are. I have, like, AoE, like, heal on hot on everybody. And, like, no matter what I do, it just does not feel like it's enough. I can have every cooldown on the floor and someone finds a way to die. Because the way you have to play it is to spam DPS spells. So my head is just fried backwards and forwards because I can't pivot. I just can't. So Feel free to let me know if I'm entirely off base and you love the more, like, DPS focused, like, Zoomerified, I need something to do, I need something to do, I need something to do. But I prefer the more, like, control-based, utility-based, Resto Shaman, always having an answer to something kind of healer. And I don't think that's doable in this game, especially not in higher tiers. I'm having people just fall over from one fucking Uga Flame, which is just, you know, the game in general, in fucking Champ Below. So, like I said, I am perfectly fine with being wrong. I'm also perfectly fine with starting a war. But let me know your thoughts down below, because I genuinely want an answer to this of if I'm just too fucking old. Like, I don't know if I've lost the plot, but if this is what this role is now, I just don't think it's for me anymore.